my friends. Today there is good news from Crimea. Specifically, the armed forces of Ukraine conducted a drone attack. The Russian Minister of Defense claims to have shot down 26 unmanned aerial vehicles, but the total number launched is still unknown. It's reported that an explosion was observed in Sevastopol. In other areas, air defense systems were activated, and in Jankoy, a checkpoint was closed. Video footage of the Russian air defense system in action has also surfaced online. Additionally, explosions occurred at an oil depot in Donetsk, resulting in a powerful fire. But that's not all. In the Kursk region of Russia, air defense systems were also operational. It appears that was an attempt to shell Russian territory, but unfortunately there were no hits. Many are also asking about the Legion of Freedom of Russia. They released a video confirming their involvement in the fuel depot arson of Rosneft in Voronezh on December 12, 2023.
To destroy the enemy's fuel at the front, you need to conduct reconnaissance in a few days, spend a certain number of shells, and involve artillerymen and UAV operators. To destroy the fuel in the rear, you need a match and one sleepless night. To destroy a tank at the front, you need a drone, a howitzer, a mortar or a long-range gun, a crew of several people and, often, several hours of reconnaissance. To destroy a tank in the rear, it is enough to unscrew one nut at the manufacturing plant, if you know what we mean, smirking face. In general, we convey our warm greetings and great respect to all unknown patriots working in our motherland. -1 tank with Rosneft fuel in Voronezh. Russia's natural resources should work for Russia, not for a criminal war.
Now let's turn to the situation along the front line, starting with the Kherson direction. Here, the Russians continue shelling the right bank, but the armed forces of Ukraine persist, remaining on the left bank despite everything. And here is the report from the Ukrainian side regarding the village of Krinky.
Today, the Russians tried to actively storm our positions in Krynky, but did not use any equipment. Our Titans didn't give up even a meter.
As evident, the Russian information about the situation on this front is confirmed. But these are not all good news. Yesterday, the Russians revealed the truth about the North Korean ammunition actively supplied to them on the front. They published a couple of photos with the exploded artillery installations and report.
Again, we are forced to write about unpleasant things. From the artillerymen of our Dnipro group of troops, we constantly receive information about problems with North Korean shells. The quality of the gunpowder there is simply disgusting, plus the constant discrepancy in weight. As a result, aimed shooting is almost impossible, shells fly to no one knows where. But worse is that some shells explode right in the barrel, which leads to the destruction of guns and the death of personnel. In particular, we have already lost several D-30 howitzers, photos of which are circulating on the internet. We don't know who allowed this North Korean shit to be used in the troops without proper checks and tests, but this person should at least be tried.
Overall, it seems that North Korea is helping the armed forces of Ukraine win this war. Now let's move on to the Zaporizhzhia direction. Here, the Russians are changing the direction of attacks, and today battles are reported in the Novoprokopivka area and to the south of Robotyne. The occupiers actively storm the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine, sparing no effort. They conduct attacks with multiple groups simultaneously. In turn, the armed forces of Ukraine do everything to repel the advancing groups and counterattack. Meanwhile, artillery exchanges continue. The situation is challenging, but the front line remains unchanged within the day. In the Vuhledar direction, there are combat clashes reported in the area of Staromaiorske. It's reported that 2 attacks were repelled. In other areas along the front line, shelling continues, but there are no changes. In the Avdiivka direction, Russian attacks persist in the Novobakhmutivka and Stepove areas. However, to the east of the coking chemical plant, the Russians failed to achieve success and they once again faced setbacks in their advance. The front line remains unchanged within the day, although battles in the industrial zone continue. On the southern flank, there are battles for Severne and Prvomaiske. Near Nevelske, all attacks have ceased and the Ukrainian Armed Forces successfully held their defense. Southward from the outskirts of Makiivka, battles continue as the Russians seek to push Ukrainian forces from the last streets, continuing their offensive actions. Attacks are also reported in the areas of Krasnohorivka and Novobakhmutivka, and it is mentioned that the Russians are actively conducting airstrikes on Ukrainian positions, significantly complicating the defense. Once again, attention is drawn to Makiivka. Another map has also updated the front line in this area, and, as expected, the Russian reports are confirmed.
Based on this material, changes have been made to the map. Zelina Street goes into the red zone, part of Ivan Franko Street is also under the enemy, and the one that remains turns into grey. Thus, the part of the ruins of the settlement that remained under the control of the defense forces is moving into the grey zone.
In the Bakhmut direction, occupiers are attempting to break through closer to Ivanivske and continue to storm Ukrainian positions in the areas of Klishchiivka and Andriivka. Shelling persists along the entire front line, and today the occupiers are actively trying to advance towards Chasiv Yar. In the areas of Kreminna and Siversk, there are renewed attempts by the Russians to force the Ukrainian forces across the river. Battles are taking place in the areas of Terny, Yampolivka and Makiivka. Shelling is ongoing along the entire front line, but there are no changes within the day. We await the outcome of the latest attacks. In the Svatove direction, the situation remains maximally stable and there is no activity from the Russians as before. In the Kupiansk direction, 8 enemy attacks were repelled in the Synkivka area within the day. However, there is increasing information that they are making slow progress in very small steps, although there are no significant changes along the front line as before. Meanwhile, Russia is so short of soldiers that they have decided to recruit foreign students. This is a Nepalese citizen captured by Ukrainian defenders in the Zaporizhzhia region. He says he was recruited after obtaining a Russian student visa in Nepal. According to him, recruiters tell Nepalese citizens that the war will end soon and it will be an opportunity for them to earn money and obtain a Russian passport.
My name is Pratik Poon. I am from Nepal, Dang Bijauri, and I came here for a student visa, and I live like Moscow 2-3 months. After that, we listen about the armies, and one of the Asian brothers take me in army, and we don't know about the agreement, contract papers, and we don't know what's going on war field. And I joined the army because of listening of him and joined. Now I go join after some months training. They send on field, and I'm in now Ukraine, so I tell them that all of the Nepalese peoples don't come to Russia, join the army, and like involved in war, because they will show you many money till you will get like passports, Russian passport, like many things. But money and passport is not everything. It's like money is not everything. You will live in like you live in Nepal like as well as good man, but if you come here, you think like a war is like a not war. All the people thinks that Nepalese people thinks that war will be stop soon and we will go for money. Some few months war is stop. They talk about that also. Me too. And war is not stop. There is many danger. You will die everywhere. Many danger. So don't come in here to join in army. Join in army and part of these wars. So.
Reuters agency also reported that the police in Nepal have arrested 10 individuals who were allegedly sending young people from the country for illegal service in the Russian army after taking large sums of money from them for tourist visas. In December, Nepal had requested Moscow not to recruit its citizens into the Russian army and to send back any Nepalese soldiers serving in their armed forces after 6 of its citizens serving in the Russian army were killed. And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.